Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Right now at 4:30, breaking news, a shooting overnight at a gas station in Raleigh. What we're learning from the scene on New Bern Avenue.
And that low pressure system that brought us all the rain and wind over the weekend is finally starting to pull away. A little cloudy now, but I'll show you when we'll see more sun.
And remembering their lives. Tonight, people will come together to honor 3 students killed in a car crash. How the community will celebrate them ahead of a game against a football rival. Thank you so much for joining us here on your Tuesday morning. I'm Michelle McConaughey. Starting off pretty nice out there. It's a little chilly, but nonetheless really nice. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center checking out what's ahead for us.
Yeah, nice comfortable start this morning, and more sunshine is in our forecast. Our low continues to pull away. Started pulling away yesterday, but it's been a fairly slow mover. So a little bit of cloud cover out there for us this morning. You can see some of that right here over downtown Raleigh from the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, but there are definitely some big holes in the clouds, and it's 59 degrees with a dew point of 55. So that does feel nice, as Michelle was saying. And we're in the 50s almost everywhere this morning. It's 61 in Fayetteville, but 59 in Durham and Rocky Mount, 58 in Goldsboro, 56 in Southern Pines. Temperatures might drop a little bit more, and it will be somewhat breezy, not as windy as it was over the weekend, but our winds are coming out of the northwest at around, with some gusts up to around 20 miles per hour or so. Lunchtime temperature 67. We climb into the low 70s for this afternoon. We get a shot of even colder air coming in later in the week. I'll show you when our temperatures could be down well into the 40s in the morning coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Breaking news, Raleigh police are investigating a shooting on New Bern Avenue. Officers just left the scene near Raleigh Boulevard about an hour ago. WRAL's Ali Calabar has been staying on top of the story for us, and we find her live at the Raleigh Police Department this morning. Ali, we're still working to learn about anyone involved in this.
When I spoke with Raleigh police earlier this morning, they couldn't confirm if a suspect had been arrested or how many people were shot. They only could say that it was a shooting investigation, and we saw them investigating. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker trying to figure out what happened. You can see crime scene tape surrounding that In-N-Out Mart and Shell gas station. We also saw at least 8 evidence markers scattered on North Raleigh Boulevard in front of that gas station. One of those markers was a shattered phone. Now, I scrubbed through a police radio traffic trying to figure out some more information. Listen to the information gathered by dispatchers and first responders on the scene.
All units reference last broadcast for the 102 in Raleigh. Same's going to be 2 victims. Suspect possibly last seen leaving the area of New Bern and Raleigh Boulevard in a 4-door silver Honda.
Now, other Broadcastify radio traffic indicates that this was a serious shooting. Someone seriously got hurt, and we're working to confirm this information. We're going to keep you updated right here on WRAL. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Calabar, WRAL News.
And breaking overnight, Raleigh police are investigating after a shooting at an apartment complex. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker at South Valley Apartments on Buck Jones Road. Police say nobody was hurt. They also say all suspects have been taken into custody. We are working to learn more about any charges that will be filed. And we're also trying to learn new information about an overnight crash in Cary. This is video from the intersection of Walnut Street and Donaldson Drive around 10:30 last night. You can see one car on its side, another with damage to the front end. Cary police say one person had to go to the hospital with injuries. And happening today, 3 E.E. Smith students who died in a car crash last week will be honored in Cumberland County. The community will remember them ahead of a football game at Southview High School in Hope Mills. And that's where we find WRAL's Kelsey Coffey this morning. And Kelsey, there will be a special tribute there before kickoff.
Yes, Michelle, the community will be remembering those young men on the football field tonight. E.E. Smith High School will play here at Southview. Now, this game was originally scheduled to happen last Friday night before tragedy happened. Trevor Merritt, Jayon Elliott, and Nick Williams died in a crash in Fayetteville last week. All of them E.E. Smith High School football players on their way home from practice. The community will honor them ahead of tonight's game. Hundreds showed up over the weekend to remember the young men at a vigil. A balloon release, moment of silence, and special presentation are all scheduled to happen tonight ahead of kickoff. That special ceremony starts tonight at 5:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Cumberland County.
UNC football coach Bill Belichick says he is not looking to leave the Tar Heels anytime soon. Belichick addressed the media yesterday in Chapel Hill. It's the first time he's directly addressed several reports that you first saw on WRAL, outlining issues in the locker room and concerns in Chapel Hill. Belichick took questions for almost half an hour, mostly from WRAL's team of reporters, and that included Pat Welter, who broke the story last week.
You're telling me that you believe this process is working?
The process will eventually produce the results that we want to produce, like they have everywhere else I've been, so I'm very confident in that.
And the team's captains shared support of the Belichick way and what they've seen so far within the program.
He moved his office down from the 4th floor to the 2nd floor so that, if there's anything that, we need, anything that we see, he's there. The dynamics in the locker room is awesome, right? There's, just seeing how everyone approaches every single day, just seeing the buy-in from everybody.
And the next time we will hear from the team will be tomorrow. That's when there is another regularly scheduled media availability with coordinators. The Tar Heels will play at California on Friday night. Their next home game will be October 25th against Virginia. And WRAL's Pat Welter has been on top of this story since day one. You can watch the entire news conference on our YouTube channel. Just search WRAL. You can also find all of our previous reporting on WRAL.com. Just search Belichick. Well, you may notice more traffic than usual tonight near the fairgrounds. R&B star Chris Brown is performing at Carter Finley Stadium. It's the first concert at the stadium in nearly a decade. Back in 2016, many Beyoncé fans got stuck in traffic and missed a lot of that show. And in 2009, the same thing happened when U2 performed there. Now, this is just a precursor of heavy traffic to come in West Raleigh as the State Fair kicks off later this week. Billie Eilish is also playing at Lenovo Center on Thursday and Friday nights. Well, this morning we are working to learn if anyone was hurt in a house fire in Fayetteville. This happened around 5 p.m. last night on Heatherly Court. Video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows at least a dozen firefighters on scene. Look at those flames. We've reached out to the Fayetteville Fire Department for more information. We have not heard back yet. Well, search warrants released from the Southport mass shooting show the accused gunman had multiple guns on him when deputies found him, and even more at his home. The suspect, Nigel Edge, was found with 2 handguns and a rifle, as well as several magazines and ammunition. Officers also searched his home, where they seized 3 more guns, 2 iPhones, and a laptop. Edge is accused of killing 3 people and injuring 6 others. He is being held without bond. His next hearing is set for November 13th. Well, an update as you get ready to head out the door this morning. Blue Ridge Road is back open after a water main break. A small section of the road near Crabtree Valley Mall had been closed since Saturday, and the rain over the weekend made repairs a challenge. We're learning the government shutdown will not affect SNAP or WIC benefits for the rest of the month in North Carolina. At the same time, state educators are sharing plans to make sure children have access to fresh food because of separate federal cuts. Educators and advocates are asking state lawmakers for $2.5 million to address these needs, and it comes after the Trump administration cut funding for the Farm to School program. One farmer told WRAL the extra money will help keep up with rising costs and the growing population in the state.
Why do we have to make a choice of serving the highest, best rice product we can to the nicest restaurants in Raleigh or Charlotte, but we can't have that to the public schools? Why can't those be the same thing?
And the group is also asking for more money to support families over the summer. State Senator Jay Chadjuri says that he is optimistic his colleagues will approve their request. Well, late night music outside your favorite restaurant may get some more specific guidelines. Tonight, City Council members will draft a Raleigh nightlife ordinance for Glenwood South. The change is due to concerns from neighbors and nearby businesses about loud music, especially at an outdoor venue. Members proposed 3 categories for loud music in Glenwood South and the rest of the city. And Raleigh police say it also plans to add 4 non-sworn staff to monitor noise throughout the city. Tonight's council meeting starts at 6 p.m. A Wilson County middle school will open new classrooms next week, more than a year after a tornado destroyed a wing of the building. Students will be in the new classrooms at Springfield Middle School in Lucama on Monday. The opening is months ahead of schedule. The 6th and 7th grade wings were destroyed by an EF3 tornado on August 8th of last year. One man died in that tornado. A 130-year-old church was also destroyed. A close call for a family within the Chapel Hill Fire Department caused by a curious dog. Look at this. A dog knocked a device off a counter. It then starts smoking and shooting flames. The dog, named Colton, goes running off. The fire department says Colton got to the device's battery and chewed it, which caused the fire. Fortunately, the dog is okay and the home has limited damage. The device had a lithium-ion battery. As you see in this video, there also a serious fire risk when not stored properly or damaged. Well, listen to this. The Consumer Product Safety Commission found these types of batteries can cause about 5,000 fires every year. Fire experts blame things like the battery overheating, breaking down over time, or getting damaged like we saw in that video with the dog. And they're also a problem when people don't get rid of them properly. 2 waste trucks in Durham have caught fire since June because people just threw them out. These pictures show some of the smoky scenes firefighters have dealt with. If you end up needing to toss your lithium battery, firefighters recommend recycling them. A renewed mission: how a UNC student who survived cancer twice is using his story to help others just like him. And rebuilding from wreckage, a restaurant is working to reopen its doors months after a car drove right through it. How quickly it plans to start serving customers again. And we'll take you live out to Fenton and Cary. We are tracking a cold front this week. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows you how this plays a role in the first couple of days of the North Carolina State Fair.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
445, taking a look at temperatures heading out the door, feeling nice and comfortable. 59 in Wilson and in Durham and 61 degrees in Fayetteville. So, yeah, that might be light jacket weather. These temperatures are pretty close to normal for this time of year. Normal is more like mid-50s. So, you know, I think people are probably starting to get used to it. Maybe used to the breezy conditions, too. We may see some winds gusting today, anywhere from about 10 to 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. School day planner looks like this. Of course, mid-50s to start with. We'll see upper 60s at lunchtime. We will see a good bit of cloud cover for today. We may see a few peaks of sunshine on and off, but mostly cloudy. High temperatures in the low 70s. So we should start to see more sunshine later in the week, and a big drop in our morning temperatures. Some of the coolest air we've seen so far this season. I'll show it to you coming up.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. The founder and CEO of Lending Tree has died in a crash in North Carolina. The company says Doug Lebda was killed on Sunday in an ATV crash on his family farm. The 55-year-old started his Charlotte-based online loan marketplace in 1996. He was co-chairman of the host committee for the 2020 Republican National Convention that was held in Charlotte in August of 2020. Well, tonight, if you have a chance to share your thoughts about priorities for Raleigh's next budget. The city is hosting an in-person budget listening session tonight. It'll be at Laurel Hills Community Center on Edward Mills Road from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Another session is scheduled for Thursday at State of Beer on Hillsborough Street. A Sampson County restaurant plans to reopen next month, more than 3 months after a car drove right into its dining room. This is a look at the damage at Hall's Grill in July. And with help from fundraising and insurance, the restaurant is getting ready to open its doors again. A tentative date has been set for November 4th. 24, and he's already survived cancer twice. That's the journey this UNC pharmacy student has gone through. Darren Mallory is in remission, but he told WRAL's Grace Haba that his fight won't be over until there's a cure.
I'm 24 years old, be 25 next Friday.
And already overcome more than most.
I felt very tired one day after practice. It was weird because I'd been had colds before as a kid. Just didn't feel like the same.
At 15, Darren Mallory received a diagnosis that changed everything. He had acute lymphoblastic leukemia.
And once you hear the C word, cancer, you don't know what to expect and I think I'm going to die.
He went from never missing a day of school to missing class every Friday from his sophomore through senior years of high school for chemotherapy. After being in remission for a few years, his cancer was back.
It was actually on my birthday of October 2021. So it was more chemotherapy at that time. I was also in school again, but this time in college. So I had to work with professors to do online work.
Through it all, Mallory never gave up, undergoing a bone marrow transplant and graduating with honors. Now in remission again. And back on familiar grounds at UNC, he's studying to become a pharmacist to learn more about the medicine that helped save his life and find new ways to save others.
I want to do clinical pharmacy, and ultimately, it may be a cliche answer, I want to find the cure to cancer.
And as more young patients are diagnosed in the world around him, Mallory says his fight to find answers grows stronger every day.
It's kind of shocking seeing the high rise in cancer numbers and diagnoses each year. And I see personally family members, friends at church, and different people in society being diagnosed with different breast cancer, prostate, pancreatic I've seen here lately. Whether it be in the research lab or being a part of a team that does it, but we got to find a way to eradicate this.
In Chapel Hill, Grace Haba, WRAL News.
Wow, and Mallory says his goal is to one day work in the Raleigh-Durham area in a transplant clinic to help patients just like him. WRAL dives deeper into more stories like Mallory's on WRAL.com, and we highlight the growing number of young cancer cases in our documentary, Diagnosis Young, the New Face of Cancer in NC. You can watch that at any time on our website or our YouTube channel. All right, let's get back over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner talking more about what we can expect for today and leading up to the state fair. We're all excited for it.
Yeah, weather's looking good. We still have this low pressure system. This is the one that was affecting us over the weekend and yesterday. It's just going to sort of wobble around out there. It will continue to bring us some cloud cover on and off for today and some breezy conditions, but it's not going to be a wet day for us. We take a live look here at downtown Raleigh. You can see a mix of clouds and clear sky. Right now it's 59 degrees, and we'll hold it in the mid to upper 50s for the most part this morning, and then climb into the mid to upper 60s right around lunchtime. Here's a look at where the cloud cover is. It's still kind of wrapping around that low, and you can see that especially from the triangle area northward and westward and then down to the south. So again, we may see a few peaks of sunshine, but that cloud cover is going to hang around and possibly even increase as we get through the day, back up to around 80 to 90% of the sky covered with clouds as we get into the afternoon. A little breezy for us. Our winds are out of the northwest at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. No gusts right now, but it may be a bit gusty as we head through the afternoon, get about 15 to 20 miles per hour later on today. Our current temperatures range from mid-50s in Roxborough to 61 in Fayetteville, but mostly temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s right now. We check out some of the temperatures around the triangle. 58 in Cary, 59 in Garner, 56 degrees in Holly Springs. Around town today, temperatures will climb into the low to mid-70s, so feeling comfortable, but mostly cloudy. You have that northwest wind, again, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And if you're headed out to the Chris Brown concert tonight at Carter Finley, first concert at Carter Finley in 9 years, temperatures are going to feel great. We'll see 60s for the most part, and should be a very comfortable evening. First 3 days of the fair, it kicks off on Thursday. Temperatures are looking great, 69 on Thursday, but up to 77 on Saturday. It's likely to be a little cloudy maybe still on Thursday, but the first 3 days of the fair are looking good. Check this out though, our normal low is 52. Friday morning we could drop down to 44. We tend to see the first 40-degree morning of the fall. The average is October 11th, and the latest is November 4th. We're not going to quite hit 40, but it's going to be chilly and some of the coolest air that we've seen so far this season. It's quick though. Our morning lows climb back up into the mid to upper 50s as we get into the weekend. And right now, our 7-day forecast is mostly dry.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Reliving the Eras Tour, a new Taylor Swift docuseries is coming to streaming. That and more in entertainment news ahead. Plus, sweet and deep fried. Yep, the State Fair. That's what we're talking about. It is days away. We'll show you the tasty treats you can expect this week.